Okay, so when we come across to here, again, we can change a ton of stuff on here and we can work a few different ways. We can either select a preset type of transformer here, and within that, we can then select presets within that transformer as well. So we've got here the American style transformer. Again, we can select transformer type here. Loads of ways to work within BIOS. It's very easy to use, even though it appears to be quite complex. So let's go for slight compression. Feels great to play. Solid states, which will be a lot more kind of, not tighter, sorry, less compressed. Spongy tube. Again, these are all fairly kind of to do with feel as opposed to kind of majorly changing the sound. So that's the transformer, and then onto my favorite section. This is such an important section, this, because previously in the cab, we only had the built-in IRs that Positive Grid provided you, and they were good, don't get me wrong, they were fine, but the Celestion ones are amazing. So a few upgrades here that are really worth pointing out. So on this left side, we've got the cab model. Okay, so we can select from loads of different cabs. These are the built-in ones, okay, so the ones that Positive Grid have produced. So we've got one speaker, 2x12, 4x12, and then others. Okay, so there's some bass and some acoustics speakers in here as well. So when we go, let's go for this 2x12. Okay, and I'm actually what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to grab one of these glassy presets. So we'll go back to this. Let's go for this. Okay, 65 blackface vibro verb. Okay, so let's go back to our cabs here. Okay. So obviously it's pre-selected, this 2x12 black Fender style cab. So we could change this and select any of these different cabinets, and they all sound great. If we go back to the cabs here, the first thing that's new is we can have two microphones. So at the moment we've got an SM57, and we can move it around on the speaker cone. And then if we grab here, we've got this top-down representation, and we can move it forwards and backwards in space. Now that's cool because you get a proximity effect as you move the microphone forwards. So not only can you change the characteristic of the sound in terms of whether it's on the actual speaker cone itself, or whether it's around the actual outside of the speaker, but you can now change the proximity EQ effect and how much sort of bottom end you get from the microphone as well. So if I have the mic in the middle of the speaker, right on the kind of dust cap, we get a lot of brightness and we get a lot of bottom end. If I pull it away, we maintain the brightness, but we lose some of that bottom end that we get from the proximity effect, which could be very useful if we want to cut through in a mix. Move it to the middle. Now if we move off to the side, we lose some of the high end kind of cut, if you like. Okay, so that's very cool. Now we've got a few different mic types that we can select from. We've got an SM57, an MD421, which I believe is a Sennheiser mic, a Royer R121, which I love, I have one of those, and then the AKG C414, which is very good for kind of clean tones. Let's grab the 414, move it into the middle of the cone. So new for this particular version of BIOS, BIOS version 2, is this ability to have two microphones. So now we can grab another microphone, and this is useful because some of the best tones you've ever heard recorded were recorded using two microphones. And you can get like the kind of cuts of an SM57 and the roundness and fatness of a Royer R121, which I absolutely love. So let's grab the 121. Let's change the first mic to our SM57. This is a classic combination. And what a lot of people will do is they'll have the SM57 on axis like that in front of the speaker cone for the cut. And if we grab the Royer, we can put that in, and we can basically balance these two to get the fatness from the Royer, but the cut from the SM57. Now, if we turn the Royer off, we get this really nice effect from the Royer. Now, if we set this button to mixer, we can now mix between the two microphones. So let's back off the Royer a little bit. You You can hear the warmth it's bringing in if I duck it in and out. There's more of the Royer. We need a bit more top end. So, oh, that's far too much. Okay, I like that sound, so let's bring in some reverb. Let's turn that on. It's a bit too much. Far too much. Okay, so I like that a lot. Let's go now and we'll have a look at some of these Celestion cabinets. We can also, by the way, I forgot to show you this, change from an open back to a closed back. Closed back is going to give us a lot more bottom end thump. In this case, because we've got the Royer, it's far too much, but you can do that if you want to. Now, let's go to these Celestion IRs. Now, we've got two types of IR here. We've got classic, which is vintage style, and then modern vintage, which is a modern sound, but with vintage speakers, so they're worn-in speakers as well. There's loads here. These Celestion IRs are worth the value of the Bias app on their own. They really, really are. They're fantastic. So we've got this kind of blackface style vibro kind of looks amplifier. So let's go for either a 1x12 or a 2x12. But let's grab this G1265 1x12. Now to my ears, as soon as you grab that, the whole sound opens up. I think these Celestion IRs are a proper game changer for this app, which sounded good anyway, but now sounds amazing. I think that is absolutely superb. So let's go and grab, let's do something with a bit more higher gain. So let's grab, actually what I'm going to do is grab that JCM 800. Okay. Okay, so let's bring the output down. Let's go to the cabs. Come to our Celestions. Okay, modern vintage. Look at all these speakers, guys. Let's grab. That sounds great. Let's go back to the cabs here. Let's take our mic. We'll pull it off to the side a little bit, slightly further away. Man, I love that. So we'll bring the level down. Let's add in a room reverb. Studio Room A. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll do, guys. Let's grab that plate. Okay, turn that on. Feel a little bit hot volume-wise. What we could do is we could go to the mixer here, pull the master down. Come back to the front panel, boost the gain even further, and I'm going to come to the preamp here, and I'm going to increase the gain stages to 5. I think that sounds absolutely killer. It's fantastic. So the final kind of thing that really should make you convinced to buy this software is if we come to the ToneCloud. Okay, now this was always an element that was built into Bias, and you could download your favorite artist presets, some amp match. So the Bias also has amp matching built in here. And the amp matching basically is a little bit similar to some of the other technology that exists in hardware form, where you can take an existing amplifier and it will produce an EQ curve within the software that matches bias to sound just like the original amplifier. So if you've got like a proper bassman, for instance, and you select the bassman in here and you play your bassman into the desktop app, then you can actually make the desktop app match the software, match the bias amplifier to sound exactly like your actual bassman. That's very cool. Now within the iOS app, and actually within desktop app as well, they've done 100 amp matches for you, which we mentioned at the beginning. So if we go into clean here, for instance, these are all completely free. So here we've got Overdrive Supreme, the amp match from a Dumble ODS 50 HRM, match from an Orange AD30 channel 1, for instance. Let's go for this Dr. Z, so this Dr. Z Z-Rec. You just literally tap on it. And remember, there's 100 of these guys. They're all completely free. You can preview it, you can like it, and you can download it, or you can add comments to it. You can, see who's liked it. We'll download it. Now, there we go, done immediately. Once we've downloaded it, if we go back, we could download as many as we want. So let's also download one of the high gain presets. Let's go for, what have we got here? Oh yes, we have to go for the Yngwie Malmsteen head. Let's download that. You could download them all if you had the time and you wanted to. Let's go for one of the, in fact, let's go back and go for one of these blues presets. This all works really quickly as well. It's all very slick. Okay, so let's go for this Vibroverb. Download U2. This is super quick. Now, we've also got top custom blues amps and historic bass collection. Okay, so we click on the top custom blues amps. Mid-gain, blues, guitar, classic amps, stocker, a collection of staff-picked warm and vintage sounds. Okay, so this is very cool as well. So let's go for this Solo Star, which probably is like a Lone Star, but I could be wrong. Okay, download that one as well. Okay, and then finally, let's come back out. Now, I'm not going to use this, but I want to show you all these bass amps as well. So we could download some of these as well. So there's tons of these available. Very cool indeed. You can also come in here, whoops, sorry, just knocked the camera. These are all the popular amps. So there's an Ola England amp there on there as well. I've got some presets guys can download as well. The latest, and then you can select by category as well. So we could go to blues. Here's all the blues amps. And you can see this is working really, really, really quickly as well. Now, anytime we want to go back, we just click on home and we're out of the ToneCloud, and then we can go into here, click on custom. There's all the presets that we've just downloaded. And the ones that are amp matches, they have match written next to them. So here's our Yngwie Malmsteen patch. I am not going to play any Yngwie Malmsteen because I can't, but awesome sound, really, really great. Come back out here to that Z-Rec, or Z-Rec I should say, if we're talking about the American amp. Super clean, really nice sounding amplifier. Okay, go back into our presets here. Let's go for, yeah, we'll go for this. This is another Dr. Z amp, I think. And you can see in these matched amplifiers, we've got the amp match block just here. Now, you can't edit this within BIOS on the iPad. If you tap it, it's just going to disappear. But to have that functionality at all in the iPad app is just fantastic. Let's go in and let's select our Solo Star. This was one of our blues amps, and we've got this. So there you go, guys. Tons and tons and tons of functionality in this amazing app. If we went through everything, we would be here for another 3 or 4 hours probably. But that gives you an overview of a lot of the features within BIOS AMP 2. So in terms of the new stuff, again, we've got new preamps. We've got the 100 tone matched amplifiers. We've got the blues amps in there. We've got the bass amps in there. We've got new tubes. We've got the amazing Celestion cabinet impulse responses, and the fact that we can use 2 different microphones as well. Very cool indeed. We've got the reverb in there as well, which is super, super cool. And just in terms of the feel and the latency, the way everything works, and in terms of the actual way the amps respond to your playing and the tones, it's just an upgrade overall. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's really, really good value for money for practicing, for recording. People use this in their rigs for actual studio work as well. So real life pros are using this software, guys. So you really must check it out. It's absolutely fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Get yourself to Positive Groove's website. You can check out the link in the description in the video below. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for further kind of videos. I'll probably do a few more videos with this particular app. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.